place mightn't be as safe as it looks.
The couple notice you approach. The man offers a cheery smile.
Greetings.
Greetings. The only thing worth knowing is that you should get out of this place as soon as you can.
Audrey, it's true. There's nothing for us in this place anymore. I wouldn't want some unsuspecting traveler to get lured in by this place.
The man half shrugs and half nods, agreeing to disagree.
Gossips, meddlers, interfering families, and now Voidwoken as well, tearing the place asunder. They're welcome to the lot as far as I'm concerned. We're going far away from it all.
You can't mean that. These are our friends and family you're talking about. You must want them to survive.
The woman throws the man a look before turning back to you.
He's being too generous. They stopped being our friends and family when they said we couldn't be together. Fulton's a sorcerer. I don't care about that. But plenty of others around here would have.
We should get moving soon. This place mightn't be as safe as it looks.
Yes, but just another little while.
He can't or won't.
By Lucian's sword, lizard, we meet again. Would that circumstances were better here than in Fort Joy, but they're not. Voidwoken lie in wait beyond the bridge.
Seems like the only work these days is in fixing weapons. This world, eh? Happy to. Some of that stuff's not bad, friend. It's a little better now if I say so myself. Good luck to you.
If you're looking to fight, I can use the help. If you're looking to chat while enjoying the view, then bugger off.
I shall not mourn till war is done.
A wearied paladin strips equipment from the bodies of the dead, singing softly to himself. He looks you up and down, then nods a greeting.
Ah, pity you just arrived. We could have used adventurers like you in that last fight. We're short-handed, deserters, if you can believe that. Abandoned their post and wandered off into the wastelands. Left their friends here to die. It's shameful.
He grabs you by the shoulder and forces you to look at the bodies at his feet.
See that, adventurer? That's Lord Godfrey and Guy Falchild. They were my friends. Their friends, too. Fortimere, Gale, Adlard, and Jop. These 4 paladins left their posts, and now their friends are dead. You are loyal, or you aren't. And if you aren't, then people die. Friends die. See the captain, if you will, adventurer. Maybe he'll put some work your way. You can follow your own path all you wish.
Sighting a stocky paladin seated ahead, Ifan tugs at your sleeve.
This one I remember. Hardwin and I served together back in the war. Let me do the talking.
The 2 men embrace, amicably enough, but you sense an uneasy tension running beneath their smiles.
Well, as I live and scarcely breathe, if it isn't Ifan Ben Mesd. I thought you died in the death fog. Thought you died a hero. But I suppose it's better to live as one We really gave those Black Ring what for, eh? Wiped them all out in the blink of an eye. Damned proud to have served with you, Ben Mesder. Damned proud.
Ifan's face turns sour as he mutters something under his breath that only the paladin can hear. Hardwin loses all camaraderie and blanches, stepping backwards. He puts one hand on his weapon.
You've changed. And for the worse. I'll not have the sacrifices of my fallen brothers maligned to my face. You survived, Ben Mesder. Be thankful for that, if nothing else.
For a moment, I thought you were our reinforcement. You here to lend a hand? The captain will put you to work right smart, if you're offering. Buy me a drink when you get paid, if we're still alive and away from this place. That'll be thanks enough.
The paladin sends arrow after arrow into the trees. She whips her head and fixes you with an intense look.
They're coming. Doing my best, friend. Doing my best.
She turns back to the forest, her bow held at the ready.
I only hope my best's enough.
They beat all those Voidwoken. I'm impressed. I've spotted something.
dead here stir, I hear their whispers.
Look who's come to join the party. Oh, but you do get around, don't you?
He takes a satisfied sniff and rubs his hands together.
When it comes to graveyards, I'm a kid in a candy shop. All sorts of goodies and gewgaws for the taking. And a bit of rousing conversation. If you know what to dig, that is. Ah, it's a quandary, you see. I'm not exactly welcome in the Stone Garden. The servants that tend the graves, well, their master, this Riker fellow, caught me nosing around, so he had them chase me off. The spirits within are particularly feisty as well. Can't say why. I'm as gentle as can be. Alas, I'm stuck sniffing out herbs and fungi on the outskirts.
He presses a forefinger against his chin and hums.
This is when having access to a god-woken might come in handy. You see, beyond the gates, there's something that my heart, such as it is set on. Well, that's the gold-plated question it is. I dare say you'll enjoy this story. Somewhere in this graveyard lies an object of tremendous power. Or so the legends say, anyway. Belonged to a family buried near here. The Surreys. I've been reading up on them. An ancient clan of eccentrics and oddballs. Fascinating people, truly. Old Joanna was the last. The poor dear. Had no money, no children, just this incredible heirloom passed down to her through the generations. Problem is, no one knows what this object is. Only that it's an astounding piece of work. Seems Joanna took its secrets to her grave. Rather literally.
His coy grin freezes.
Hours spent on scholarship are never hours wasted.
Tarquin sighs and his lips unfreeze. For a moment he looks almost modest.
It pains me to say, but you've talents in the adventuring department that I do not. This heirloom could prove valuable for both of us. Beautiful. The Surrey tomb must be somewhere nearby. And whatever that object is in there, I bet it's impressive.
He looks toward the graveyard.
I do wish I could wander inside. It would be nice to look up some old friends. See if they're in good spirits.
The dog growls and bares its teeth at you in a wide, unsettling grin.
Human graves. Let's hope none are earmarked for me. What's this? I found something.
The lizard hums tunelessly. Not a melody exactly, but more of a meandering moan.
10 spans under, humans slept. 10 spans up, the dwarves were kept. Lizards burned in lasting flame. Elven trees towards skies did aim.
She looks to your left with one eye and to your right with the other.
Keeping watch, tending graves.
She flinches as you move closer.
No, no touching.
Her humming fades. The eerie silence lasts for several seconds.
Riker might get mad. It helps me remember where the dead go. Sometimes they don't stay where I put them. That's okay.
She smiles at you with the innocence of a newborn. The hum still throbs in her throat.
No work. I do it 'cause I like it. Don't cause trouble. Just dig and pluck weeds and shoo the ravens.
She shivers and whispers.
He's a powerful sorcerer. Lives here in the garden. Can take the you from you. No brain, just body. My mind isn't big, but it's still a mind.
She points at her head.
The servants, they got nothing up there. Riker has it all now. They need to be freed. Only way, kill Riker. The servants, so lost, chained by Sorcerer Riker, but they can still go home to the hall. Set them free.
The ensuing silence lasts for several seconds, until she picks up the melody once again and turns away. You were kind and honest and devoted to your dog, but you came a-knocking here in search of work, and the dog took a fancy to the man of the house. Your own dog turned on you and tore you down. The creature barely notices your presence.
grasshopper. me good.
Mari flashes a massive horsey smile at you, then winces, her left arm hanging limply at her side.
By the seven, that was something. What'd I tell you? Nice scratch on me. None that'll last, at least. Glad my little guy got to see it. You sound like a paladin. Very righteous, isn't that right? Well, good for you, I reckon. Didn't catch your name, though. I'm Mari. Dunno about you, but I never was afraid of bugs. Then again, if you hadn't rolled in when you did, I might be whistling Teedle-dee in a Void Woken's belly by now. I owe you one. Always happy to squash a bug if I get the chance. Especially with a toughie like you on the front. Hate to cut this short, but I ought to dash off. My boy's waiting for me. Mind lowering the bridge, though? I find myself slightly indisposed for the moment. There you are, my good-looking lad. Ma! Let me get a good look at you. You're okay?
Of course I am, Ma. Are you?
Fit as a fiddle. And how's my little spider monkey doing? Safe and sound.
Spider monkey? You mean dragon?
Come here, you.
Mother and son fall into a tight embrace. One tear rolls down Mari's nose, falls on the black stubble on Baron's head. She strokes the wet drop away, smiling.
My boy, my good boy.
Hey, wait, one sec. Ma, look! Thank you so much for helping my Ma. All those Void Woken. Sheesh, thank the gods everyone is okay.
Thank the gods. Oh, thank the mum. And our friend here too. If that's the case, let them show themselves. Lucian at the very least. All these Reds running the realm for him and he ain't even here. Anyhow, I know a good arm when I see one. I'll tell my cousin Raymond what you did. He's real high up in the Order and he's visiting Driftwood as we speak. Could be he has some good work for you. Some dwarves, locals, attacked a Magister caravan. Must have been sorcerers inside. Voidwoken must have sensed them. Came in formation like a proper battalion. Never seen anything like it. No match for the bomber pair at the Bridgeside Cottage. Right, Baron?
As rain.
We're off into town. Best of luck to you, mate. And come say hi if you make your way inside.
for a cellar, isn't it? This again?
A spillage all over the floor.
This again?
Spotted something.
You see yourself in the mirror. It's quite a sight.
Boring.
Nice.
Off you go. I can't be seen raternizing with the likes of you. Oh, terribly sorry. For letting me live, you have my eternal gratitude. Ha! Foolish stink beast. Well, I'm a rat. And you're some kind of, curious, large-style flesh beast. Never the twain shall mix. Thus spaketh the reddish, large-style flesh beasts. Just look at what happened to that lovely flick-tongued scale slitherer when she spent too much time with a lumbering, large-style flesh beast of her own. No thank you. I'll find you.
Horror every day around here.
wolf right in the tavern. All hell broke loose. Good time.
I'll find you.
Oh, we dwarves had a kingdom, and we will have it back. I won't always be sweeping, I'll be riding horseback. We dwarves had a kingdom, and a proud knight was I. I won't always be sweeping, for my kingdom I'll die.
The Meister's back! The Meister's back! She doesn't feel like playing, but...
The Meister sits slumped in a chair, looking around the room as she works her shoulder with one hand. It looks like it was dislocated by the gallows.
Damnable red cloak baboons ransacking my wardrobes, as if I would keep ancient valuable secrets in a pearl with my unmentionables.
She takes a deep breath, and with a twist, a click, and a screech of pain, she shoves her shoulder back into its socket.
I swear by the seven, if we did not have more important matters to attend to.
Reaching across the table, she pulls a bowl of hot water towards her and fishes some bandages, a needle and thread out of a box. She slowly starts to tend to her wounds.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault, so everything you need should be safe. Enthusiasm? On a weekday? My word. We shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have been chosen, Godwoken, but becoming divine requires more than a supernatural pat on the head. Come, Godwoken. It is time to see just how awake you are. Fortunately, the Magisters pay as much attention to art as they do to fashion. Kindly remove that painting from the wall. I pray my instructions will not be too difficult for you. Your talent for throwing push the button. Now, kindly go to the vault and enter the combination. I shall call it out as you go.
A stone door lies flush with the floorboards. Etched whorls in the granite frame a delicate rotary dial. Gleaming under the dim light, the metallic dial almost seems to wink at you. Taking your time, you carefully enter the combination. The metallic sounds of the tumblers falling within the mechanism let you know you entered the code correctly.
Excellent. Follow me. Your time is at hand, Godwoken. Feel free to look about while I catch my breath.
contraptions. This place is an Arcanist's dream.
The Meister is examining her wounds, prodding at this, wincing at that. Her face seems grim as she turns to you.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, Godwoken?
Meister Siever's stare bores into your soul. It is still, analytical, and ice cold.
Indeed, some people seem to think so. Mostly they're idiots, but in some cases they're mad dogs.
The Meister rests her hand on her arm, where one of her wounds has just reopened. She squeezes hard, ignoring the trickle of blood running down her claw.
I pray you're more idiot than mad dog. It would be a shame to expend all this effort just to see you put down. I hope so, for all our sakes. To accept divinity is to accept responsibility for the lives of every person and beast that walks Rivellon. If granted divinity, you would have the power of all 7 gods at your disposal. You could heal any wound, pull islands from the sea, right any injustice. But make no mistake, the divine has only one duty: to protect this world from the void. The divine cannot use his power for anything else. Very well, then. Let's see if we can't snatch divinity from the jaws of the void. The ritual itself is quite simple. Drop some blackroot in the bowl, mix in a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then inhale the smoke. Ignore any feelings of dizziness, burning in your lungs, or a dire sense of existential dread. They're all perfectly normal, although you will need to sacrifice a little sauce along the way. Everything you need is here. Ingredients in the cupboard, sauce in the glowing fountain, ritual in the tome by the bookcase, even an incinerator to provide a flame.
The Meister looks back at her wounds, curiously prodding them as fresh blood oozes out, staining her claws.
And do not lose anything. These ingredients are rare indeed. I'm not hiking back out to the Cloisterwood to fetch you more blackroot.
Opening the door, you see a selection of ingredients, thrown together in no particular order. After a quick rummage, you spot the blackroot, nestled between the grated dragon's tongue and Drudenay oil. You gather up the blackroot, obsidian lance, and ancient bowl, and kick the door of the cupboard closed. As you suck the smoke deep into your lungs, your vision starts to swim and cloud. There is an intense pounding in your head, and you can feel the world fading. As the world fades away, you lose all sense of being grounded. You reach out, but you could feel yourself falling slowly, sinking into the depths of your own soul. Bathed in the half-light of these starless barrens, you spot a figure you could only describe as a second self. It looks haggard and weak, its very voice but a feeble echo of your own.
My chosen, come closer, so that you may see me as I truly am. Stubborn as ever, but you will look me in the eyes.
The apparition clasps your face in its shaking hands. You suddenly feel your eyes tingle. Everything becomes brighter, sharper. Blacks and whites become glorious bursts of color, then fade back into their accustomed spectrum.
Blind eyes shine brightly. Speak the spell and see.
Strange mirror image of yourself. Before you stands the goddess Zolstissa in all her spectral glory.
You know me now, don't you? I saved you from drowning. I blessed you, made you powerful. And now I've come to seek some power in return. Your god-woken soul is my last refuge, my last bastion. May as well make the best of what you have to offer.
Zolstissa nourishes herself from the source that abounds in your presence. You feel it deep down inside yourself.
Ah, yes. Just what I needed. I tell you, dying just doesn't become a god. Immortality is only permanent, my dear, until one day it simply ceases to be. The void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching us in ways we never thought possible. Droplet by droplet, we are being drained. We're battling for our very survival. It's a battle we're losing, and should we truly lose, all will be cast into oblivion. Well, sort of. But by all means, let that be a motivator, not a cause for concern. You must realize that our fates are now as one, just as our souls are now as one. We are I. Together we are a force to be reckoned with. But if we seek to survive the onslaught of the void, we stand no chance unless we become vastly more powerful than we are now. That means there is but one place we can go. The Well of Ascension. It most certainly will be. The Well of Ascension is a lake, a pool of pure source, in which the powers of the Seven lie united. We gave them up freely to create the first divine. Each of us donated half of that which makes us gods. To bathe in the lake is to become our chosen. That is where the road to divinity leads, and you must be the first to reach it at all costs. I know. Or did you think I chose you for those pretty eyes alone? One must never enter into any endeavor, though,
without realizing the stakes. The void is stronger than ever. A new divine won't be enough. You need to go to the Well of Ascension. Not to bathe in the source of the Seven, but to take it. All of it. Only he who claims everything will be everything. The Void's doom, this world's liberator. It's very simple, really. They will either bow to you or be undone. But of course, that is what they are saying to their own god Woken as we speak. We both know they won't bow, just like we both know you will never bow to them. Only one can become a god strong enough to safeguard our world. One at the expense of all others. So make no mistake, my champion. Chances are the road to divinity will be paved with dead gods. Their blood on your murderous hands. But don't let that dismay you. For these sins will be washed clean by the knowledge you committed them to save all of existence. To save your kin and your loved ones and the world they live in. I promise that yours alone will be the powers of the lake. And to the lake I will lead you. But not yet. Not until you become a true master of the Source. Until you speak the language of creation itself. Our journey will be fraught with peril. It is a pilgrimage of challenges that will require you to command Source like only a Godwoken can, and wield its most powerful spells.
Laughter rolls and echoes into infinity.
You flatter me, my chosen. But if all I had to do was give, you would long since have received. We are I now. The spells you need to know I will teach you when you are ready. But first you must learn to channel the Source in greater volumes. That is why you need to seek masters of the Source. You must make them teach you, so that you may become a master in turn. So, return to Rivalon, and seek out these sages where they dwell. Convince them to share with you their deep-seated bond with the Source. Once you have, you may return to me here. And so much more. But I'm no longer who I once was, bound to you as I've become. I will teach you what I can, but the knowledge that will expand the bounds of your soul, that you will have to hunt for yourself. Something that'll make you understand that for a god, there is precious little difference between the living and the dead. Source is. It is a constant, a subject of neither time nor transience. All of life is Source, and in Source it is. Immortally so. You have the vision of a god now. Eyes that can see spirits. The souls of the dead made manifest in Source. Speak the spell during your peregrinations, and you will see them. Where the dead lie, the dead linger. Best of luck, my champion.
The Meister stares intently at you. Her eyes are tired and bruised, but determined.
Still alive? Gods above, there might be something to you after all.
She leans in, her bloody tongue flickering hungrily about your face.
Tell me, what did you see? What you know?
The Meister's eyes flash with fury, but she holds her tongue and steps back.
You are not a pile of ash, so the ritual was a success, albeit partially. You had all the material requirements, so I can only assume your source was lacking. That is unfortunate. Indeed not. And ever more difficult when you've been purged. I was a master of source once, but no longer. The Magisters saw to that. The river of my source has been dammed. My link to the font from which it flows, severed. So we must seek alternatives. Alas, the only source masters not yet hauled off to Fort Joy or turned into meat puppets are those too dangerous or cunning for the Magisters to contain. Sorcerers that allowed their power to corrupt them. Many are wicked, cruel, vile, and generally not good teacher material, but we may have no others to turn to. Your poor taste in drinking partners does not interest me. These are no average cutthroats. They are the kind of creatures that grew bored of pulling the legs off spiders and so moved on to people. However, it is the path we walk, no matter what the cost. No matter what is asked of you.
The Meister doubles over in a violent coughing fit, struggling for breath. After a few moments, she regains her composure, wiping a thin smear of blood from the corner of her mouth.
No matter what is asked of you, you must learn from them. The Magisters have kept ledgers with all known sorcerers, especially the powerful ones not yet captured. They would be an invaluable resource, but do be careful not to get caught. I was their guest for a time, and I promise you the gallows was the most comfortable part of the experience. And if their barracks turns out to be as empty as their skulls, just try to keep an ear to the ground. There may still be powerful sorcerers hiding in these lands.
As she speaks, one of her wounds reopens, a dark red stain spreading across her tunic. She hisses in frustration and starts to bind the gash.
I wish there was more I could do, but in this condition, I would be more a hindrance than a boon. Godspeed, and remember, do whatever it takes.
The spirit of an elegant elven woman materializes before you. She seems surprised.
You can see me. A god woken in my presence. You honor me. I am the Meister's apprentice. I study under her, but I do not learn. I hear tales of the ritual, of what lies beyond. Such wonders, such powers. I decide to pursue them myself. Meister tells me it cannot happen. that I am not God-woken. But in my heart, I know I'm special. I try. I burn the root. I breathe the smoke and it burns me back. No air fills my lungs, only fire. When the darkness falls, I cannot cry out. I leave my life behind with a shameful whimper.
The spirit looks at you regretfully.
It is hard to hear of such power and not covet it for yourself. I lie to myself and convince myself that I am special. But I am not special. I am dead.
Much business today.
The carved figure is a resplendent sight in this ramshackle village. Your touch creates a ripple across the mosaic as if it were water and not stone. A comforting warmth spreads through you, starting at your fingertips.
Ifan Ben Mesd is our living breeze. I don't know how you got free, but it'll be back to the joy with you, and no mistake.
Got word from the factory that another boat went down. Things ain't looking good.
Who could forget? Best night's business the healer had in months. Now, come on. Back into a cage where you belong.
What did they call her? The axe? The hammer.
Your little tricks won't work on me, Ben Mesd.
trying to escape, are you?
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
The carved figure, you're touched. eyes alight upon you, they widen until they are practically
Ifrit Ben Mesd are live and breathe. I don't know how you got free, but it'll be back to the joy with you and no...
She considers your offer.
How much?
Well, keep steady. People still need potions. Be by soon enough.
So little. You can sit and think about your stinginess at... Oh, that's it.
As the Magister's eye...
Ifrit Ben Mesd are... Who could forget? Best night's business the healer... Now, come on. Back into a cage where you belong.
The Magister balks, all bravado punctured. She hums a tune and looks the other way, pretending to be completely alone here.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like
War's a brewing, my friend. Special prices for you. While with war is hell, my friend, but it's very good for business. Good luck to you.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Woke up this morning, west. Can't get that. You made it back, safe and sound. That's all you gotta think about right now.
Queen Justinia executes two Justinians for insubordination.
You're safe among friends. Never forget.
Bishop Alexander was slain by singers.
You eating any of your own fish?
You kidding? I don't eat what I sell. I usually buy from Ovis over there.
Ovis? How can you afford his stuff?
I got me a sweet deal. That's all you need to know.
Queen Justinia executes.
Keeping it together, Reed. I'm all right.
My word, but you do look half-hearted. Got yourself situated.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Yep. Back for a return visit, or half-hearted? Got yourself situated.
Not much. People don't want to leave town. Can't blame them. There's no safety in solitude.
Well, keep steady. People still need potions. Be by soon enough. You eating any of your own fish?
You kidding? I don't eat what I sell. I usually buy from Ovis over there.
Ovis? How can you afford his stuff?
Torn aside fire, cold and
I got me a sweet deal.
Ride welcome.
That's all you need to know.
God knows what'd stop those beasts.
Cold steel it is, then.
Much business today?
Not much. People don't want to leave town. Can't blame them. There's no safety in solitude.
Well, keep steady.
Yep.
People still need potions. They'll be by soon enough.
You needing supplies? Anything more?
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
You eating any of your own fish?
You kidding? I don't eat what I sell. I usually buy from Ovis over there.
Ovis? How can you afford his stuff?
I got me a sweet deal. That's all you need to know.
Could be worse, you know.
Obviously out.
You could be a dwarf, for starters.
Your fish stinks as a void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
Until later then.
Much business today?
Not much. People don't want to leave town. Can't blame them. There's no safety in solitude.
Well, keep steady. People still need potions. They'll be by soon enough. You eating any of your own fish?
Kidding? I don't eat what I sell. I usually buy from Ovis over there.
Ovis? How can you afford his stuff?
I got me a sweet deal. That's all you need to know.
Much business today?
Not much. People don't want to leave town. Can't blame them. There's no safety in solitude.
Well, keep steady. People still need potions. They'll be by soon enough.
Buying or selling? Capital. Good luck to you.
Well, keep steady. People still need potions. They'll be by soon enough. You eating any of your own fish?
You kidding? I don't eat what I sell. I usually buy from Ovis over there.
Ovis? How can you afford his stuff?
I got me a sweet deal. And that's all you need to know.
Much business today.
Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
There's no safety.
Well, keep steady. People still need potions. We'll be by soon enough. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Your fish stinks as a fool.
Could be worse, you know.
Sell such
Hard to see how.
The kind that don't fancy starving.
You could be a dwarf for starters.
It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking, dwarf, and you let that pigeon sawdust for myself floor.
Made it back, safe and sound. That's all you've got to think about right now.
Easier said than done.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Bishop Alexander was slain by
Made it back, safe and sound. That's all you've got to think about right now.
Easier said than done.
Could be worse, you know.
Hard to see how.
You could be a dwarf.
Back for a return. Have got yourself situated. Yep.
There's not a call for the junk you sell, then.
Junk? Why, I offer nothing less than the wisdom of the ancients. And
Vapid fiction, along with a large helping of
Much
ham.
business today.
Not much. People don't want to leave town. Can't blame them. There's no safety in solitude.
Well, keep steady. People still need potions. They'll be by soon enough. Got word from the factory that another boat went down. Things ain't looking good.
Void woken are everywhere.
Yeah. You You suppose the Madisons will get rid of the void woken anytime soon?
I doubt it. Now they've got that hellacious general in charge. What do they call her? The Axe?
The hammer. Hope you're wrong. Time will tell, I suppose.
Much business today?
Not much. People don't want to leave town. Can't blame them. There's no safety in solitude.
Well, keep steady. People still need potions. They'll be by soon enough.
Buying or selling? Capital. Good luck to you.
Justinian executes 24 noblemen.
Smells worse over here.
stranger. You look down at the cart and see fish with flaking scales, tumours and, in one case, 3 heads.
As you will, chum.
Thank the divine you're here to protect us.
Yes, of course.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
God knows we'll stop those beasts. Cold steel.
You eating any of your own fish?
You kidding? I don't eat what I sell. I usually buy from Ovis over there.
All this? How can you afford his stuff?